give me a second, guys, while I check the stream is up. Yes, it is. Okay, guys, so hello and welcome to Eldar GR3 Endurance. This is actually the relive of the top tier from Monday evening. I'm a regular host or commentator hoppers for Eldar Racing, and it is the round number 4, I believe, of the championship. And yes, it is going to be exciting to see exactly what is going to be happening. I'm just sharing it around at the moment just while the replay loads up. And yeah, I missed the races of, well, the race as of Monday due to work commitments, which was a bit unfortunate, but hey ho, never mind. But we'll see who got pole position and how the race actually unfolded in a couple of moments time, and hopefully we'll be in for a good race, I believe, from what I've seen or what I've heard. So yeah, it's going to look like it's going to be very interesting. I've got a busy day of commentary, or a busy hour and a half of commentary, and then later on there is the final round of the Shell Lorman Motorsport British Touring Car Championship from Interlagos, so my voice is probably going to have to be in considerably amount of top-notch form today as well as this evening. But for those who don't know, if you're new around here, GR3 Endurance, the top tier, obviously has quite a lot of interest. There's been a lot of battles, and I believe it's led, the championship is led by Casper Brockner, aka Calderon, I believe that's how you pronounce his PSN, but never mind, we will get into the action very shortly. But it seems the BMWs have been a bit of dominant force recently, and Interlagos last week proved to be very close battles between certain people, and certain proximity had happened within the championship. I believe it's blown it wide open, but we'll get into roughly the grid and then get into the hour and a half, hopefully, of commentary before I have to get my voice in check yet again for live action of the Shell Lorman British Touring Car Championship season finale this evening. So if you're listening to the stream, please let me know if I'm heard or if I'm not. Please don't be offended to tell me that I'm not, because I'm not going to take offence. But we are getting ready for the action very shortly. So I'll pause the replay when we jump in. We are here at Fuji International Speedway. I believe it's the one without the chicane, so without going into the Dunlop chicane, if I remember rightly. If I do, then I'm correct. If I'm not, then fair enough. It's not going to hamper me. So yes, if you just joined the stream, welcome. And thank you for tuning in, it means a lot. Just gearing up for what could be a very tense hour and a half of racing. So it looks like then, from what I'm seeing on the grid, it looked like Casper from Chris Wheatley and Gareth Morris, then it was Noah making his second race appearance. But we'll go through the grid roughly, and we'll go through who is thereabouts. So just bear with while we get through the grid. So in first place on pole position then for round number 4 of the GR3 top tier endurance is Casper Brockner in the BMW. Seems to be changed a slight livery, and it was last week at Interlagos. Alongside him was none other than Chris Wheatley. Chris has been an established racer. He's obviously looking for quite a bit of success now after missing out on a victory at Interlagos last week. The GT40 seemed to be a bit loose and a bit wild there for Chris. Then we had Gareth Morris third place then in the second of the Vokenhorst BMWs, because I believe Casper's in the box standard GT3 machine, and Gareth Morris and of course Rasmus Ommeren are in the Vokenhorst BMWs. Then it was Noah taking fourth, and astounding fourth place in qualifying. I believe the qualifying session was tenths from the 10-minute qualifying. So in the Chevrolet Corvette, seems to be adapting very well to his racing here at Eldar Sim. Then it looks like Lee Fitzy in his Jaguar qualified 5th, so you know, looking forward to seeing what he's going to do. Obviously he was in the Corvette to start with, but then changed to the Jaguar because he couldn't get on for a lot of interest. I think he was struggling with the Corvette, and then he decided, nah, I'll go to the Jaguar. Then in 6th place was Adam Morgan, not British Touring Car star, it is the Welsh namesake. Obviously people think, oh, you've got Adam Morgan racing British Touring Car star. No, we haven't. It is the Welsh namesake, just in case people want getting confused. Then it was Scott Dalby, aka Scott Skyner. Scott is a well-established racer. I personally rate him in GT as well as BTCC. I don't really have favourites in the leagues. I just like to give the guys just my support as well as being their friendly commentator, if you will. Then we had Rasmus Ommeren in 8th place. Seemed to be struggling a bit round here for pace, I believe, in the BMW. He'll correct me if I'm wrong, no doubt. Then you have Samper, who kindly actually shared this replay for me so I could do the real live, so thank you very much for that, Samuel. Much appreciated, mate. In the LDR rate, seems to be a very good car as well for him. Then you have Craig Thomas in 10th place. Then in the other Aston Martin, I don't understand why him and Adam Morgan have a bit of a banter between the pair of them on their Aston Martins. Then you have Daniel Payes or Damien Black in 11th in the second Ford GT40, and then rounding up the field is none other than Mr. Eldar Sim Racing himself, Nick Sargent, in the Luke Reed Ginetta inspired liveried Jaguar F-Type. So we'll get into the action and we will see exactly what went down here at Fuji as of Monday, and yes, it is going to be an absolute privilege. So sit back, grab a drink, grab something to eat, because it is 1 in the afternoon here in the UK, and enjoy the stream, and hopefully my voice does not disappear as often, because I need to get it in shape and form for this evening. But yes, we are going to get into the action, so let's go and let's see exactly what happened for the race itself. So revs are building, the 5 red lights are coming on starting gantry. As you can see, very slowly the revs are building even louder. They're about to turn to green, and who's going to get a good start into turn number 1 then? It looks like that Chris Wheatley gets the jump from Casper alongside then Adam Morgan going into turn number 1, but then Casper gets the inside line or the outside line going into turn number 1, so it's closely followed by Chris Wheatley. So the first and second drivers on the grid get a very good jump into the first 2 corners ahead of the chasing pack, followed by Lee Fitzy, and then it looked like Noah and of course Adam Morgan for 4th and 5th. And Scott Dalby trying to get close and personal to the back of Samper, trying to get up to Gareth Morris. Gareth Morris looks like he bogged down a bit in that Vulcan Horse BMW, followed by Scott Dalby and of course Samper and of course Nick. Nick kind of jumped up into 9th with Daniel in of course 10th place, followed by Craig Thomas and Rasmus at the back of the grid. I think he got a bit swamped off the line, but going into Dunlop and up towards the tight and twisty stuff now to complete the lap, obviously into this first hairpin right, I believe, or no, it's a left, I beg your pardon, and then going up into Panasonic, so it's going to be very close. So, you know, and then we'll go down the 1,000 kilometre straight here at Fuji. It is famous for that. It is very long straight until we get to the braking zone for the first corner. So Chris Wheatley under threat from Lee Fitzy and of course Noah at the moment, and so Noah Wright trying to put that Chevrolet Corvette alongside or tucking in behind Lee Fitzy and Chris Wheatley as Adam Morgan gets there in 5th place, but you can just see Noah trying to push onto the back, so Lee Fitzey gained another place. We'll see exactly what's happening further back. So Scott, however, up into 6th, Gareth Morris 7th then, with of course Nick and of course Samper and Daniel and of course Craig Thomas thereabouts in 10th, 11th and 9th respectively, and 8th, and then Rasmus in 12th place at the moment. And it almost seems Casper runs a bit wide, but Lee Fitzey with a 9/10 penalty, however, needs to get rid of that before he goes to the start finish line. But he's dropped a lot of places there in the Jaguar F-Type going into towards Dunlop for the second time. Then you can just see the beautiful Mount Fuji volcano in the background with a bit of snow on it, obviously during the colder climates. But it looks like Nick's got through on Samper for 8th place then, so he's still thereabouts. Samper in 9th then with Craig Thomas and Daniel, and of course Rasmus Ommeren at the tails of the field at the moment. But there is a lot of places to be swapped between these guys. Gareth Morris and, oh, there's a yellow flag. Adam Morgan got a bit crossed up out of Panasonic. Was there a lot of bunching and pushing and shoving? Let's have a look from his point of view. I think he just latched it onto the curb. Yes, the Astro curve just spun him out into the back of the barrier there, so he's lost quite a few places now, dropped to the tail of the field. Maybe quite a bit of damage on that Aston Martin, so he's dropped down to 11th now, just behind Rasmus Ommeren, as we're about to start lap number 8 out of, I think it was about 50 in the end. So it's going to be a very long race for these guys to get going, but obviously early stages with Samper and Craig Thomas squabbling for position. So you've got Craig Thomas there trying to put Samper under, or Samper's trying to put Craig under a lot of pressure with the Aston Martin and Audi R8. So that's allowed Scott Dalby up into 3rd then, because he's pushing quite a bit with that Jaguar. Seems to be liking his racing at the moment, and he seems to be adapting very well. Gareth Morris back up into 4th, so he's not far away from where he started the opening race of, well, the race of the evening, with Lee Fitzey also chasing him down as Lee Fitzey gives his mate a bit of a shove. So he's got to be careful there, because that could have been a bit nasty going into Dunlop. But nevertheless, he's actually covered it well, so he's still there. But Gareth has, in the meantime, has lost a bit of ground from Scott Dalby. But Casper Calderon, or Casper Broughton rather, just still leading the way. So he's got that big advantage from these guys. However, Craig's got past Samper with, of course, Daniel trying to chase him down in that Ford GT. And Ford GT trying to push on quite a bit. And then obviously Adam Morgan and of course Rasmus there in 11th. It looks like at the moment though, however, we've actually lost a driver going on to lap number 4. Kind of looks like we've lost, I believe, we've lost Noah. So Noah in the Chevrolet Corvette. Can we go back and try and figure out exactly what has happened? Let's have a look. So he's there in 3rd, and then it seems to have a bit of an issue. So I think he's got a bit of an issue there about, and then going on to lap 3 as he disconnects. So it's a bit unfortunate, so that's allowed Scott back up into 3rd with obviously Gareth Morris and of course Samper, but then that's when the battle was going on. So I'll quickly go back to lap number 4, I believe that we were on, but who knows exactly what happened. So on to lap number 3, you know, you've got Samper still putting Craig under threat, so the Audi R8 driver trying to push on for what looks like 7th place at the moment. So again, down to the front straight then, you've got Casper leading the way then with that BMW seems to be very adaptable, and he gets the lap number 4 on the way then, with Chris Wheatley and Scott versus Gareth Morris and Lee Fitzy. These two are currently going to be fighting tooth and nail. You've got Nick in the Luke Reed inspired Ginetta Jaguar livery trying to push on. You know it's going to be fantastic to see exactly how well he's going to do this from Monday night, with the likes of Gareth Morris trying to push on for quite further up the field than he did. He obviously dropped back. It looks like the Jaguar of Nick trying to escape from Craig Thomas. Craig Thomas is Aston Martin, however, under threat from Sampa's Audi R8, with Daniel trying to push that Ford GT40 along the way. It seems that Adam Morgan then 10th place with Rasmus in 11th at the moment, so quite equally spread out at the moment by the looks of it, but who knows exactly what's going to happen, because we're still a long way into the race complete, and it's going to be fantastic to see exactly what is going to happen for the likes of Casper and of course Chris Wheatley and of course Scott Dalby when the pit stops come around, because you know it's very close and probably very close proximity between these guys. You can just see Casper's lead just thereabouts, spreading a long way down that 1,000 kilometres straight. It's going to be very close for Chris Wheatley because he's got Scott Dalby chasing him with great speed in that Jaguar. You can just about see exactly what's going to happen for Scott. He's trying to push on, he's trying to emulate exactly what's going to happen for the Jaguar driver as we start lap number 5 then. Into the first corner we go at Fuji. It's going to be very careful to see exactly what happens. It looks like at the moment though Gareth Morris is trying to chase after Scott in the meantime, as well as trying to get away from Lee Fitzy. Lee Fitzy has that Jaguar trying to dial that up, trying to chase him down with great speed. Nick's still trying to push on. He's got Craig Thomas chasing him down though with great speed, and it looks like Daniel with a 5-time penalty just trying to take that, but in the meantime he's held up Adam Morgan going into the Waycross bend. I believe that is exactly what it's called, I'm not too sure, I can't remember here at Fuji, but Adam's going to try and make a move in towards Dunlop, tucks back in behind Daniel locks up a break in the process, which still keeps 9th place at the moment from Adam Morgan and of course Rasmus Omeren. You can just see the Danish driver, so Danes are at the front and tail of the field. So it looks like Adam Morgan trying to push his Aston Martin further up the field. You can just see Craig trying to catch up to Nick, and Nick's going to try and push away from me. He knows exactly how to race. It is absolutely down to exactly how the drivers would feel. So down the 1,000 kilometres straight yet again. It seems like a long straight, but Gareth Morris, however, he's getting alongside Scott Dalby, third place at the moment, starting lap number 6 then. However, let's see what's going to happen. Gareth gets that BMW right past the Jaguar, but Scott thinks about tucking right behind and trying to push on for getting that 3rd place back. So let's see exactly what's going to happen between these two. They're going to fight tooth and nail for some time. It seems that you know, Gareth Morris has that Vulcan-horse BMW back to where he wants it. Scott Dalby, however, bit of a jinx there, but hopefully that doesn't hamper him. Lee Fitzy still in 5th, Nick still in 6th, still in pressure from Craig Thomas. Craig's got that Aston Martin dialed up where he exactly wants it, so we'll go on board with the Aston Martin driver just for a couple of minutes. However, we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So you've got Nick under pressure from Craig in the Aston Martin going through the latter half of the lap. Now this is where it's going to get very close, because the strategies will be coming and playing effect. You can just see how quick Craig wants that Aston Martin to get past that Jaguar. However, Daniel's been overtaken by Adam Morgan. Adam Morgan in the meantime trying to put Sampa under a lot of pressure. You can just about see But what is happening further up? It looks like Scott's trying to get the overlap on Gareth Morris for third place. Does exactly the stellar move, but he's got to be careful because Gareth Morris will have that BMW back into third place. But Scott's got the line and tried to get Gareth Morris dispatched as quickly as he can. But that all depends on certain bits and pieces. But that's still allowing the likes of Chris Wheatley and Casper to try and escape up the road. So you can just see Scott pushing on. He's trying to emulate quite a lot of lap times here and trying to push that Jaguar to its absolute limits. However, Craig's got past Nick, so we'll have to try and figure out exactly what Craig's going to do, because I think Nick's going to be pushing that Luke Reed inspired Ginetta liveried Jaguar to its absolute paces, and it's good to see obviously the founder of Eldar enjoying his racing. Obviously, you know, Nick's been around and he's been trying to push on quite a bit. You've got Adam Morgan 8th, Samper now 9th. He's got Samper all over the tail, so it looks like the LDR8 driver trying to exactly emulate quite a lot of things to try and push that car to its degree. And Daniel's still in 10th with Rasmus in 11th still, but we're not even halfway to the race. But Casper thereabouts, jumping still into first place. He's probably jumping with joy, thinking I've got a bigger gap. And the moment Scott Dalby with Gareth Morris still 3rd and 4th. Got to be careful because Lee Fitz's Jaguar is going to be hunting them down. It's going to be very close to see exactly what they're going to do on lap 8 then, as Scott breaks for turn number 1. Has that Jaguar all the way, it's got it covered for some time to see exactly what's going to happen. That BMW still putting Scott's Jaguar quite a bit under pressure, but we'll see exactly what is going to happen for the time being. Lee Fitz is still there in 5th then, Craig Thomas in 6th, Nick in 7th, Adam Morgan 8th with Samper 9th, followed by Daniel, followed by Rasmus, but actually top 11 at the moment. But it seems at the moment Gareth Morris, you can just see pushing that BMW to its absolute limit. Whether it's going to be time to be doing pit stops is yet to be seen, but we'll soon find out exactly what is going to happen for this evening, or should I say this afternoon, during the relive here for the Eldar Go Fudge Yourself GR3 Endurance, the top tier. Out of the pair, Scott gets a bit crossed up out of that turn there into Panasonic for the 8th time. Then it seems there's a lot of battles galore in this division, it seems. So we're going to go on to lap number 9. Let's going to see what happens. Scott's pushing that Jaguar, but he's got to be careful because Gareth Morris were on board with the BMW driver going down the front straight here at Fuji. He thinks about taking the move from Scott Dalby. Is he going to do it before turn number 1? Yes, he has. He's done it there. So you can just see how hot the brakes are getting, but Scott Dalby has that overlap. He's going to try and get alongside the BMW. You can just see Chris Wheatley thereabouts, just trying to jinx one way and jink another way. But however, Gareth Morris still has that overlap. Nicely done by the pair of them. Lee Fitz is still in 5th, Craig in 6th, followed by Nick in 7th, then Adam Morgan 8th with Samper thereabouts. But Adam Morgan putting Nick under pressure. The Jaguar seems to be haunted by the Aston Martins at the moment. It's a tasty Aston Martin sandwich, which, you know, he's probably going to try and push on and try and push away from these guys for quite some time. But we're on lap 9 out of, I think it was around about 50, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen for Adam Morgan thereabouts. So he's going to try and push on to get up to Nick's Jaguar. Samper in 9th then, Daniel in 10th, and then obviously Rasmus 11th at the moment at this stage. But however, Casper Brockner trying to push that BMW as best as he can away from the chasing pack. It is quite a bit of a considerable gap to Chris Wheatley, and then obviously you've got Gareth Morris, Scott, and of course Lee Fitzy they're going to try and push on. You know, you've got Lee trying to get Scott for, but then we've got a car into the pit lane then, and that is Nick. Nick's jumped into pit lane, first of the strategies. Sampa's also jumped in. Scott's got to try and get that move up to Gareth Morris. You can just about see exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them. You've got Daniel still in 8th and Rasmus now 9th, so he's going to be building up more positions. You can just about see Sampa thereabouts. It just seems to be very pushing. We'll see exactly what's going to do, but Nick gets ahead of him into pit lane onto the softs then. There's only softs and mediums this time round this season, and they're all identical. Well, not all identical GR3 cars, but they're all GR3 class cars, but they're not all identical. So Scott's still in 4th then, closely chased by Lee Fitzy. Now, is this the time where things are going to happen? Because strategies are key and paramount here in the GR3 Endurance. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Lee Fitzy still there, about to Casper. However, championship leader and multiple race winner already of the season, is pushing on quite a bit in that BMW. It's not the Vorkenhorst BMW, it is the other one, but Gareth Morris and Scott Dalby still thereabouts, 3rd and 4th with Lee Fitzy there, just with his cousin Craig Thomas right behind him. It just seems thereabouts. It's going to be very, very close to see exactly what's going to happen. Adam Morgan 7th, Daniel still in 8th, but he goes into pit lane then, so that'll give Rasmus another place. The Dane picks up 8th place at the moment, but it looks like Scott's going to be putting Gareth under pressure, because he's about to get that Jaguar pouncing all over the back of the BMW. You can just about see it. It's trying to push on. It's trying to emulate quite a lot of things. Just recently, Scott's been involved in obviously the British touring cars, and you know, he's done other races thereabouts. So you know, he's been obviously doing a lot of racing, getting a lot of mileage under his belt for the driver there. You've got Gareth Morris still trying to hold on for dear life, trying to stop the Scott Dalby roller coaster, aka the Jaguar, trying to close up and probably be personal. But you know, there's quite a few cars that are out there, and some have pitted, some haven't, some are probably on a bit of a different strategy. It's interesting to see that some are, most of them on the softs, but some of them actually probably started on the softs and then decided, well, the softs are going to be the way to go. So then on to lap number 12, still looking at Casper. He's got that lead from Chris Wheatley. Chris Wheatley's just about to cross the line. He's crossed the line there. Scott Dalby, however, still in 4th with Gareth Morris still in 3rd. So the BMWs seem to be the strongest car at the moment, ahead of the Jaguar. Lee Fitzy and thereabouts in 5th, Craig in 6th, then the Aston Martin, the 2 Aston Martins of Craig and of course Adam, so that's going to probably push them up quite a bit. We'll see exactly what's going to happen with Rasmus 8th, Nick in 9th, followed by Sampa, and then of course Daniel in, of course, 11th place. But in the meantime, you've got Gareth Morris trying to lead away and trying to push far away from the train of cars that's behind him. Scott Dalby has a bit of another dink of a issue there, whether he's just trying to push on and trying to exactly emulate quite a few things. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Lee Fitzy close behind, so the 2 Jaguars trying to catch up to that BMW. But however, Lee Fitzy and Craig's got the Aston Martin, trying to catch up to these guys. We'll see exactly what's going to happen for the other bit of the lap here. Seems Craig's got the Aston Martin trying to chase after his cousin, but we've got quite a bit to go. Maybe strategies may come in this time round, but the BMW seems to be okay, as well as the Jaguar and of course the Aston Martin. So the guys are staying out a bit longer, probably trying to think, well, you know, we can do 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes minimum, but we need to do the best we can for the strategy. And it seems that Samper and the Audi's still pushing quite away. He's got that speed there. He's got Nick just ahead of him, just about. You can just see that Jaguar lurking, not Jaguar, yeah, Jaguar lurking straight ahead, but Samper's going to be pushing absolute to the limit. Daniel's still in 11th. Maybe he's struggling a bit with his wheel from a bit of issues there. So Casper still leads the way from Chris Wheatley, and of course Gareth Morris. Then you've got Scott and of course Lee, and then of course Craig, the two cousins, 5th and 6th respectively, trying to push on. But on to lap 13 we go then. So into Dunlop for the 13th time. It's where it's going to get tooth and nail. So the 103 machine versus the 69 numbered Aston Martin. The Aston Martin of Craig's trying to push on. He's a well-established racer, and he's actually got quite a bit of a challenge to see exactly what's going to happen between himself and his cousin. He's got the Aston Martin almost close to that Jaguar, going down the 1 kilometre straight, 1,000 kilometre, not the 1 kilometre straight. That would be small, but the huge straight here at Fuji, and we're going to see exactly what's going to happen. Is Craig going to duck into that air and try and say, right, now's my move to get 5th place for my cousin? It's going to be a bit of a family affair if Craig gets it done. Yes, he does. He gets it magically done there. So he's now going to be chasing after Scott, with Gareth, of course, for the road. But it's going to be close to see exactly what's going to happen. In the meantime, still Casper leading the way, then from Chris, then from Gareth, from Scott, then Craig, then Lee, then obviously Adam, Rasmus, then Nick, then Samper, and of course Daniel at the tail of the field. But this is where it's going to get very close, because I believe the top lot from 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th are going to be pitting at some point. So you can just see Scott trying to get away from the Aston Martin of Craig Thomas into Dunlop for the 14th time. Gets a bit of a slide, gets a bit of a crossing up wheels there, but he's still pushing on towards the latter half of the lap. So he's thereabouts, trying to push on. Gareth Morris drops a wheel on the dirt out of exit of Panasonic. Whether that's going to hamper him, but he still stays 3rd at the moment. Then dropped a bit of ground to Chris Wheatley though, however, but Craig's got the move, hopefully on Scott Dalby into turn number 1. But is this going to be a move for what could be very fantastic to see exactly what is going to happen? Is Craig going to get 4th place, or is Scott going to close the door? Scott almost closes the door. Craig actually has to settle back for 5th place. You can just see the Jaguar and Aston Martin have a bit of a hairy moment out at turn number 1, but Scott's got this car under control. It could be now's the time to literally push on. So we're at 15 then, with not even half distance of the race to go yet. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. It seems we've got a bit of a close proximity battle, so that's allowing Gareth Morris to escape. Scott there, fuel lights just come on to say, okay mate, this is going to be probably pushing on for fuel. Craig's got that Aston Martin and just where he wants it, into Dunlop for the 15th time. Thereabouts, trying to chase after Scott. Lee Fitzy still 6th place. Adam Morgan in 7th, then Rasmus 8th, Nick in 9th, then Samper 10th, and Daniel at the tail of the field at the moment. But Casper leads the way. Chris Wheatley just fires his way into Panasonic. There's a bit of a move between Scott Dalby and of course Craig Thomas, but are the two going to pit this time? Craig gets that inside line down the straight, but are they going to pit? this is where it's going to be very close. But no, they both stay out. Craig's going to try and push on for quite some time. He has to tuck back in behind Scott, but Scott's going to try and defend from the Aston Martin. Craig's got the Aston Martin extremely dialed up to perfection at the moment. He's got to be careful because he's got his cousin Lee Fitzy closing behind him. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. On to lap number 16 we go, and this is going to be very close between the pair of them, it seems. But at the moment then it's got Craig with Scott trying to push on, go on board with the Aston Martin, or Craig Thomas then trying to push past Scott Dalby into the Waycross bend, and he's going to try and push all the way to try and get that Jaguar out of the way. Craig has a bit of a slide and a bit of a crossed up moment. You could just see when we're on board with him, we had to fight for the wheel to try and get it back thereabouts, but you know, Scott's still there holding on for fourth place at the moment, fighting for dear life. It just seems there's going to be a lot of ideas going to push on. Whether Gareth Morris, you know, still there in third, bit of a gap between them, so he's got away from that battle now between Craig and of course Scott. Craig's trying to get that inside line, maybe the outside line now for Panasonic. Is he going to try and do it? You can just see Scott trying to put the power down a bit early. That is now going to be Scott's chance. Scott goes into pit lane, so he's going to put that Jaguar into pit lane and go on to the mediums. Lee Fitzy also follows him. It looks like they were going to have a battle to see who's going to get into pit lane first, but Craig Thomas stays out for another lap then. So Gareth Morris in third, Chris Wheatley second, and then Casper into still in the lead. Adam Morgan into pit lane as well. So there's quite a few challenges between the likes of Scott, Lee Fitzy, and of course Adam Morgan in the time being. But Nick's still there in sixth place, gained up to sixth now with Sampa seventh. So they've gained quite a few positions, and it looks like to me Daniel's still there thereabouts in 8th place at the moment then. So it looks like Scott and of course Lee Fitzy, they take their battle from out of pit lane, or into pit lane, back out of pit lane, and it looks like Daniel's had a bit of an issue, so that's pushed him back and dropped him out. It looked like he went wide at turn number 1. So Chris Wheatley then, second place. Casper still thereabouts, but this is going to hold the likes of obviously Rasmus. Hasn't pitted yet. Is it going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen? But it looks like to me Rasmus thereabouts in 5th, then Nick still in 6th, Sampa 7th, Scott on cold tyres 8th, then Lee Fitzy chasing him down, and Adam Morgan also going to be chasing these guys down. But looking at what's happening here, Casper is staying out for another lap. Chris Wheatley is doing exactly the same. So is Gareth Morris, but Craig Thomas is the first of that chasing pack to blink. And yes, he will be chasing. Rasmus still staying out for another lap by the looks of it. So Nick's going to be chasing him. You can just see that BMW, the Volkenhorst BMW, trying to push on, trying to emulate quite a lot of things. Rasmus hasn't had better luck this time, or a bit of an idea, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Sampa's still there in 6th place, then gains a place because Craig Thomas is in pit lane. So I think Craig's going to go on to the mediums and he's going to push on. So Scott there in 7th, Lee Fitzy, but has Craig stayed in pit lane? He's actually come out in 7th place as Lee Fitzy. Oh, Lee Fitzy nearly snookers the pair of them into turn number 1. What was that? It's almost 3 wide there. Oh, that was I didn't see that happening. But Lee Fitzy there, however, tries to take the pair of Craig Thomas, his cousin, and Scott Dalby for 7th place, but Craig's come back out in 7th. We know how quick Craig likes to perfection his pit stops, but he's fueled it up to the brim. And it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. but Scott's there in 8th, followed by Lee Fitzy in 9th then. But at the moment there's not much in it, as we got to the likes of Craig trying to get back up and personal. You've got Scott pushing on for that 8th place, how vital that is, with Gareth Morris and Chris Wheatley then into pit lane, so they're going to be pushing quite a bit for some time. But Scott's got Lee Fitzy and of course Adam Morgan right behind him now. He's got to be careful what is going to happen, because they've got this challenge now. But in the meantime, Chris Wheatley and of course Rasmus actually comes out of pit lane, so that's allowed Gareth Morris back into 3rd, Nick up in 2nd then, after a couple of pit stops from these guys. Casper will be the last of the current stints to pit, however. So Craig and Lee Fitzy, Lee Fitzy and Adam Morgan, they've actually got past Scott Dalby. Can we see exactly what went on? Going down the 1,000 kilometres straight, Lee Fitzy actually has that line, so he's forced to bounce it. And I believe Adam Morgan just sails past as well. Just gets on that sailing boat and sails past him. So that's allowed Scott to try and push on. So Rasmus comes out on the racing softs and full tank of fuel. So in the meantime, it looks like the battles are going to be hotting up as Casper goes through Panasonic. He is on great form. The guy is absolutely unstoppable. Still staying up for another lap though, however, to start lap number 20. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen between these guys. So we'll see what will happen between these guys. Samper 4th, Chris Wheatley in 5th then. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Thereabouts, Craig nearly locks up a brake. That's allowed Lee Fitzy and Adam Morgan to literally try and push up to him. Scott Dalby though in 9th, trying to push on. Lap 19 then, maybe soon to be lap 20, but Scott gets that Jaguar sliding all over the place. So it's going to be very close to see what happens. Rasmus still in 10th place then. He's trying to push on. He's actually almost trying to push on with his compatriot Casper Brotner, trying to get that BMW, the normal GT3 BMW, away. Well, Casper's got to be careful. Nick's running out of fuel. Has he gone on a different strategy? He was actually the first to pit, so maybe the strategy is different. You know, it's very difficult to get the strategies right in these cars. If I remember rightly, when I raced the GR2 car, which is obviously up to this, you know, it was a bit of an animal, and it kind of, excuse me, trying to push on quite a bit. So Chris Wheatley in 5th and Craig still in 6th, pushing on away from Adam Morgan and Lee Fitzy. Lee Fitzy trying to catch up to trying to catch up to the likes of Adam Morgan, with Casper jumping into pit lane then. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, because you've got these guys, you've got the quicker guys now that trying to push on. You know, Lee Fitzy thereabouts. Scott still trying to chase him down. Oh, there's a yellow. Did I see a yellow flag? I think I did. Lee Fitzy's gone off at the final turn, I believe. He went off. Oh, he lost it before Panasonic. Has that done him any harm? Yes, it has. I believe so. It has done him some damage, but that's allowed the likes of Gareth Morris to get the lead of the race with Samper 2nd, but Casper just comes out ahead of Chris Wheatley. Chris Wheatley's almost there, trying to take him to the cleaners and say, not in live sunshine, that BMW is not going to win tonight. But you can just see exactly how quick that BMW is. Quite full to the brim with fuel. Craig Thomas still there in 5th, Adam Morgan 6th, and Scott 7th. Scott's going to have to push on lap 21 then. So we're not far away from the halfway point of the race. And it seems that it's going to be very close between the pair of them with quite some time to push on. So Lee Fitzy in 8th then. Nick still in 9th though after his pit stop, so he's going to probably push on for quite some time. Rasmus still there in 10th place, but you know, there's still yet another set of stints to go, and it could be very close. Samper in 2nd with Gareth Morris thereabouts. That fuel seems to be dropping quite a bit in that Vorkenhorst BMW, with the likes of Samper trying to push that Audi to its absolute limits. Chris Wheatley then in that Ford GT40 coming through the last turn in towards 1,000 kilometres straight here at Fuji. It seems to be very close to see what's going to happen. Craig Thomas then 5th place at the moment as it stands. Adam Morgan then into 6th. Scott trying to push on, trying to push up to the Aston Martin if he can. It's going to be very close between these guys to see exactly what is going to happen. Lee Fitzy in 8th and Nick still 9th with Rasmus Omeren in 10th place. Maybe Rasmus is playing it cool tonight, who knows. Gareth Morris there about Samper trying to push away. You've got Chris Wheatley as well, and Casper there in 4th at the moment. So the main battle I'm really interested in seeing at the moment is between Adam Morgan and Scott Dalby. Scott's got that Jaguar dialed up as best as he can. We know how quick he is, we know how established racer he is. It's going to be close to think about exactly. These guys need to push on quite a bit to say, right, now's the time, because the strategies, the next set of strat is going to be very important between these guys. Into Dunlop we go for the 22nd time. We're actually on board with the Jaguar F-Type going into Dunlop. You can just see him trying to push and literally trying to push up to Adam Morgan. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between the likes of himself and of course Adam, because Adam needs to be pushing that Aston Martin. You can just see that Jaguar, it seems to be, it's not suffering, but I think it's just going to be trying to push on for quite some time. It's going to be thereabouts. We'll see how well he does. He's currently 7th. Not bad considering what the expectations could have been for round number 4 of the championship. So you've got Casper thereabouts into turn number 1, but what is this? Chris Wheatley catching up towards Samper. The Ford got the legs of that Audi R8. We'll go on board with the Ford driver if we can, just to see exactly what is going to happen, and it's going to be very close to see how much we're going to get from these guys, with Samper's Audi trying to push on away from the likes of the Ford at the moment, because he's got a bit of a gap there, but Chris is going to be gaining on to him. But you can just hear the crackle of the BMW with Gareth Morris going out of Dunlop, but Samper goes into Dunlop with Chris Wheatley closer than he thinks now, with Casper trying to push up, trying to push back into the race lead. Craig Thomas still there in 5th, Adam Morgan still in 6th then, with Scott hot on his heels just about, and Lee Fitzy trying to get back up into that rhythm in 8th place, with Nick chasing him down. You can just see the Luke Reed inspired Ginetta livery pushing on for quite some time, trying to literally push the living daylights out of that Jaguar it seems. And obviously Rasmus Omeren trying to get thereabouts, still in 10th place though. Maybe he's going to try and push on. It's not been a very good evening for Rasmus at the moment. Maybe it's been a bit of a strategy issue, who knows. But Gareth Morris still leads the way from Samper, but Samper's up and close with Chris Wheatley chasing him down. We're going back on board with the Ford driver in towards the corners here. It seems like Samper has got that Audi, trying to get the legs of that Audi R8 away from that Ford GT. Samper and Chris Wheatley almost pranged together. It's going to be very close between the pair of them. Is it going to be down to the strategy? Still on board with Chris Wheatley. He wants to try and get that move done as quick as he can. You can just see how quick he's going to go, but he's got to be careful because Samper is going to be on the defensive. You know, Samper can defend like mad. He's actually done very well in the recent World Touring Supercars on a Friday, so you know he knows how to race, he knows how to push on. He even, believe it or not, takes part in the races that we see from I believe it's the manufacturer races, but he's going into pit lane. That probably explains why he's been a bit slow out of the last couple of turns, but that's allowed the likes of Chris Wheatley and Casper to get first and second back, because Gareth Morris also jumps into pit lane. Craig Thomas, however, 5th place, could be soon 3rd place from Adam Morgan and of course Scott. Scott's going to try and push on for quite some time now. On to lap number 25 then, so you know we're still probably going to be not even halfway through the race yet. Nick's still in 6th, he's got a battle with Lee Fitzy though, so both Jaguars trying to push on. You can just see Nick on that inside line. Whether he brakes a bit later than Gareth Morris, you can just see how much brake pressure it actually put into the cars. It's kind of very close proximity racing. So Nick up into 6th and Lee in 7th. Rasmus in 8th place then, trying to push on with Gareth Morris and of course Samper there in, of course, 9th and 10th respectively. But is this going to actually allow quite a few drivers to get their rhythm back? Because it is kind of, I'm not going to say daunting, but to do when you're doing an endurance race, you've got to be on the money, you've got to be pushed, you've got to push yourself all the way. You can't just sit back and relax, because you've got to think of the next strategy, you've got to think about your tyre wear, your fuel, you've got to think what's going to be exactly the right move to go. But at the meantime, Nick's still got that Jaguar firing on all cylinders, trying to push it away from Lee Fitzy's Jaguar, however, but it's going to be very close to see exactly what happens. But down the 1,000 kilometre straight here at Fuji. But in the meantime, Casper is catching up to Chris Wheatley rather for that race lead. It seems the Ford GT maybe, it's not overfueled, it's not underfueled, it's just trying to push on quite a bit, trying to push away from Casper. Craig still in 3rd then with Adam Morgan behind him. 4th, Scott 5th then. Nick still in 6th, pushing on. He's trying to do an absolute stellar job. He's trying to get used to that Jaguar. I think he was kind of, in a way, not struggling, but trying to, you know, trying to get to grips with exactly with what was going to happen. We've got Lee Fitzy in 7th, Rasmus still 8th then. So we're going to see what he can do. The Dane trying to push on for quite some time, so we'll see exactly what is going to happen. You've got Gareth Morris still there in, excuse me, in 9th at the moment, trying to push on up to the other Vokenhorst BMW of Rasmus Ommeren at the moment then, and then Samper down in 10th place at the moment. But at the moment then, the battle for the race lead could be a very interesting one between the likes of Chris Wheatley and of course Casper. These two have actually had quite some epic battles over the last couple of rounds, it seems, with Craig thereabouts in 3rd then, with Adam Morgan trying to push on. He's got to push that Aston Martin where he wants it, because Scott Dalby, however, in that Jaguar, you can just see the gap considerably a bit big, maybe a bit small, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Nick's still there in 6th place though, doing a stellar job. Now pushed away from Lee Fitzy, and then you got Rasmus currently getting chased by Gareth Morris. Gareth Morris has that Vokenhorst BMW, will go on board with Gareth for the time being. The Welshman trying to catch up to Dane. Seeing both are very similar machines. Just seems to be pushing on quite a bit. But then we're going on board with Gareth Morris's bonnet camp. Just trying to push on quite a bit. So we'll see exactly what he's going to do. As we're on lap 27 then. Where it's going to be very close to see exactly what these guys are going to try and do. The strategies. The next set of strategies, it looks like Lee Fitzy's going to be the next one. Just under a quarter of a tank left in that Jaguar, and you've got Gareth Morris's best mate Craig Thomas still thereabouts, just under half a tank. And I'll tell you what's going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen. I think Casper now has that Ford GT in his sights. Yes, he does, going down that 1,000 kilometre straight. Here at Fuji, you can see how well the fans are enjoying the treat for spectacle of racing. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen there. So Chris Wheatley still in first place then. Gasper in second, Craig still in third, Adam Morgan fourth, and Scott in fifth, with Nick still in sixth. But Lee Fitzy, yes, as I rightly said, he would be the next to go in for his strategic stop. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen for these guys going into the latter half of the race. Then we're on lap 28, but we're not even close enough to that halfway point of that strategies at the moment, it seems. But seeing what is going to go on between the likes of Nick and of course Scott and of course Adam and of course Craig and Casper and Chris respectively, these guys put on a good show week in, week out, and it's going to be very close to see exactly what happens. Chris Wheatley in the Ford GT, you just see him pushing on, goes over the curbs. Maybe the curbs are going to do him good. Is he going to stay out? Yes, he is. But you've got to be careful because Casper is on a charge. You can just see that Ford just slightly in front of him, it seems. But we're going to see exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them. The gap is considerably coming down quite a bit. Craig there in third with Adam Morgan just about to cross the start-finish line, with Scott there in fifth place chasing him down. Nick in sixth then, Rasmus seventh, Gareth Morris though, however, there's a bit of a battle between the Vorkenhorst BMWs going down the straight then. Gareth's trying to get the better of Rasmus. You can just about see the Beamer Worlds BMW trying to get past the other one as he gets past Rasmus for seventh place. Rasmus tucked behind, and then you've got Samper chasing him down. Lee Fitzy, however, 10th place at the moment, probably still struggling in that Jaguar. But Chris Wheatley is currently under threat from Casper. Casper's got that BMW. I think it's got more the series sponsor on the side of his car now. So we can tell exactly who the series sponsor is. But just while we're mentioning sponsor, thank you to Go Fudge Yourself for your kind sponsorship for the Eldar Sim Championship, the GR3 Endurance Championship. So thank you so much for your generosity. So we've got Chris Wheatley getting chased now, slightly but surely now. Rasmus's best mate probably. Casper trying to push on to get up to Chris Wheatley, on board with the BMW down the front straight here. So it's going to happen. Chris Wheatley locks up a brake though, however. Craig's still in third then, Adam Morgan in fourth then. Scott's trying to push on, he's trying to push quite a bit, so we're on lap 30, so we're not far away now, so we're around about maybe around 20 laps to go this time round. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Scott's trying to push that Jaguar as much as he can. Nick's still in there in 6th, and Gareth Morris 7th. Rasmus is under threat from Sampa. You can just see that Audi R8 go on board with the Audi, chasing down the Danish BMW. You can just about see it. Sampa's got this move. Oh, he has to back out of it. He has to back out of it, but Rasmus runs wide. This is going to be very close between the pair of them. Liquid Molly and Fanatec BMW. Oh, they're closing, putting a bit of door mirrors together. Sampa's thinking about it. Rasmus gets that line covered, but Sampa, you can just see him in the he's obviously raced the Nations Cup race quite a lot of times and doing well on a Friday. Maybe all the racing, and that puts that into perspective. He's going to try and get the move on Rasmus into Dunlop though. Rasmus might say not in your life, sunshine, and actually closes the door back in Sampa's face, but Sampa's not given up though. Sampa has not given up, chasing after the Danish BMW. You can just see it thereabouts, but it is going to be very close. Is there going to be a close battle for the race lead? We will have a look in a moment or two, but Sampa putting Rasmus under threat. But in the meantime, looking at what we're seeing here, Casper Brockner trying to get up to Chris Wheatley. You can just see the BMW exactly trying to push that Ford GT to its absolute limits. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen if we can get towards the latter half of the race, but seeing what is going to go on. So we'll see if the likes of Casper can get back in front of Chris Wheatley. Chris Wheatley's fuel tank is a bit smaller in that Ford GT. Don't get me wrong, I could be wrong though, but it's going to be very close. It could be very tooth and nail between the pair of them, with Casper trying to emulate quite a lot of things at the moment. Oh, Chris Wheatley's made a mistake that allowed Casper to try and get back alongside that Ford GT. Into Panasonic we go, but in the meantime, just looking at the timing screen, Sampa has finally got past the BMW of Rasmus there, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. So you've got Sampa in 8th place, then Rasmus 9th, Lee Fitzy sadly in 10th at the moment. Maybe he's just a bit struggling at the moment, but going back to this battle for the race, it's between Chris Wheatley and of course Casper, with Scott and Nick going to pit lane. So that's going to be very close. This could be another bit of pushing on for quite some time. We'll see exactly how well things are going to go between quite a lot of drivers at the moment then. So Chris Wheatley then, however, has Casper right behind, but Casper runs a bit wide, but he's still going to try and catch up to that Ford GT. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen for some time. We'll push on. See exactly how well things are going to go, but you've got Chris Wheatley under threat from the likes of Casper. Casper's got that BMW dialed up, especially how quick he needs it, but you know, is it going to be down to Chris Wheatley, or is Casper going to decide, you know, to give it one last push to see exactly what's going to happen? But we shall see. We shall see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. It is going to be tooth and nail. Going across the start finish lines, Casper gets even a bit more closer. You know, you've got Craig still in there in 3rd with Adam Morgan 4th, but Adam goes into pit lane. That will allow Gareth Morris to close back up. Sampa in 6th then, Rasmus 7th, Nick in 8th then, Lee Fitzy 9th, and Scott Dalby. Oh, Scott's got a bit of an issue in 10th place at the moment though, so he's going to have to push back on. We're on lap. Oh, there's a yellow flag somewhere. Or is that just warning us, or is it just playing tricks with us? But Adam Morgan in pit lane then. Casper forever trying to catch up to Chris Wheatley. He's dropped some ground though, but I think Chris Wheatley's going to chuck into pit lane. On to lap 33 then. So halfway through, just about now. With a handful of laps to go. This is where the race could be decided. Casper still in second. Craig Thomas third. Gareth Morris fourth now. Samper fifth. Rasmus sixth. Nick in seventh. With the likes of Adam Morgan and Lee Fitzy just behind him, just about. So Adam's going to have to try and defend it from Lee Fitzy at the moment, as well as trying to attack Scott Dalby. But you can just see Lee Fitzy thereabouts, getting that Jaguar close back up to Adam Morgan, and it's going to be very close. But in the meantime, Chris is still leading that race from Casper. We thought Casper was going to gain on him very quickly, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. It's got Craig in third, then Gareth in fourth, Samper fifth at the moment, Rasmus in sixth then, with Nick still there in seventh, trying to push on with Scott eighth, Adam Morgan in ninth then, with Lee Fitzy in 10th place at the moment with lap 34 for some of these guys. Lee Fitzy, however, is 10th at the moment, but then Chris Wheatley is still leading, but Lee Fitzy's trying to catch up to Adam Morgan. You can just see how quick these guys are going to go, but it's going to be very tooth and nail. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So Chris Wheatley still there in first place at the moment, with Lee Fitzy trying to chase after Adam Morgan. Scott Dalby, however, lap 34 then, where it's going to get very close between these guys now. But Scott thereabouts trying to push on. We could just see exactly what's going to happen. But have we got another strategy coming? I think Chris Wheatley, however, is going to stay out this time round, with Casper gaining on great speed or not. We'll see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. Casper still there, second. Craig third, almost out of fuel though. Is he going to take the Aston Martin to pit lane, or is he staying out? Stays out, so that's very interesting. With Gareth Morris in fourth then, Samper fifth, Rasmus still in sixth, Nick still in seventh, Scott still in eighth, with the likes of Adam Morgan and of course Lee Fitzy thereabouts. So we're not far away from seeing what's going to happen between these guys. We'll try and push on for another lap. So it's very close at the moment, lap 35 we go then. Chris Wheatley out of fuel nearly, so he will be going this time round, I think, just to get it just right. Casper still there in second place at the moment, probably patiently waiting to see what Chris Wheatley does with that for GT, the market. Oh, Casper gets it wrong out of Dunlop. Is that because the mediums are now wearing? But we will see exactly what is going to happen between the pair of them. It will be very close to see what we can do. But at the moment, Chris Wheatley, is he going to dive into pit lane, or is he staying out? It will be very interesting to see what he does. He actually stays out for another lap. That is brave stuff from the Welshman in that Fudge GT40. Casper also thereabouts. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. But Craig Thomas then, he's going to probably go and take that Aston Martin into pit lane. Yes, he does. You can just about see him going into pit lane. Gareth Morris will now go third then. Samper will go fourth, maybe. Rasmus thereabouts. Rasmus trying to push on. Maybe he wants a decent result tonight. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Nick still in seventh. Adam Morgan with Scott Dalby right behind him. You can just see these two. These two were actually battling thereabouts the last time out at Interlagos, and it is going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen between the pair of them. It seems to be very close because Scott's getting alongside Adam Morgan for that 7th place. Now he gets it done beautifully as Craig Thomas comes out in 10th place with Lee Fitzey, his cousin, just ahead of him. We'll see exactly what happens. Scott's still there in 7th, then Adam Morgan in 8th, then trying to push on. Maybe this is where it's going to get tooth and nail between these guys for quite some time. But looking at what's happening further up the road, Chris Wheatley comes through Panasonic. This time he will pit, most likely, because he does not want to risk running out of fuel at the moment. So he jumps into pit lane onto to start lap 37, but Casper will take the race lead, and the guy is unstoppable. It is going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. Gareth Morris will probably take 2nd place in the meantime, but it's going to be very close because, you know, we've got them considerable lap times. It's going to be thereabouts, I believe, but looking at Gareth Morris, it's going to be down to getting in 2nd. Chris Wheatley still there, the fuel going in, whether the fuel tank is a bit smaller in that Ford GT. Samper up into 3rd, then he will try and push on in that Audi, and it looks like Chris gets back out into 4th with Rasmus just coming down the straight towards turn number 1. Nick in 6th, then Scott in 7th, excuse me, Adam Morgan in 8th with Lee Fitzey 9th, and then Craig chasing him down in 10th place at the moment then. So this is where it's going to get very close between the pair of them. We'll see exactly what is going to happen for quite some time, but it seems to be how quick things are going to go between these guys. I'll tell you what, this championship doesn't fail to disappoint because it is very interesting, especially with the strategies. Casper coming out of Panasonic, sliding them tyres, maybe he's just pushing that BMW to its limit. Gareth Morris, however, yet to come through Panasonic, so you can imagine the gap between himself and of course Casper. Then you've got Samper in the Audi trying to push on in 3rd place at the moment. Chris Wheatley, however, still 4th, Rasmus 5th, Nick in 6th, then Scott in 7th, Adam Morgan closely but surely gaining up to the tail of that Jaguar, with Lee Fitzey in 9th and Craig in 10th at the moment. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. It's going to be very close, it's going to be very neck and neck, I believe. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen in the latter half of the race. Then we are not far away from a handful of laps, so could be thereabouts with around 12 laps to go in this race. So Casper still pushing on into Dunlop. You can see all that gap. It's pushing on to see exactly what's going to happen. So we've got Adam Morgan trying to catch up towards Scott Dalby, but Lee Fitzey is under threat from his cousin at the moment though. But this could be where it's going to get very close. But Casper pushing that BMW all the way to its absolute limit. You can just see that fuel tank just almost empty now. And I'll tell you what, Gareth Morris will be counting his lucky chickens to try and push back into that race lead and try and take another victory. But at the moment though, it all depends on certain things. Casper actually stays out for another lap, so he's kind of brave. He's gone for another lap with around 11 laps to go in this race. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. Gareth Morris still there in 2nd place with the likes of Samper chasing him down. Samper hasn't got far to go to catch up to Gareth Morris, but the Audi's slowly but surely drinking that fuel as we're about to start lap 39 in this race here at Fuji for the round number 4 of the GR3 Go Fudge Yourself Odyssey GT Endurance. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Rasmus drifts into pit lane, which gives Nick 5th place. Then Rasmus will drop a few places, leave Fitzy, however, into 9th, and that's gifted his cousin 8th place. Adam Morgan, though, considerably with that, a bit of contact between him and Scott going into turn number 1, but I think this is where I actually saw Scott stream, so seeing exactly what's going to happen between the pair, the Jaguar and Aston Martin. It's going to be very close between the pair of them, so we'll see exactly how quick. Nick's still there in 5th place at the moment. Chris Wheatley still there in 4th. Sampath in 3rd then. Gareth Morris in 2nd. But you've got Casper Brockner, the Danish driver, in the BMW, still trying to push on. He will probably pit this time round because it's like, right, time to go. Sampa will be pitting as well, believe, but we'll see exactly what happens. Is that going to allow Gareth Morris to get the race lead, or is he doing exactly the same? Nope, he stays out for another lap, so he stays out to get lap number 40 into the book. But Casper, he swapped tyres and he's got the fuel. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what happens between them pair. Chris Wheatley will go back into 2nd. I'm expecting Sampa in pit lane. Nick will be 3rd place at the moment then, so we'll see how well the founder of Eldar Sim Racing. But Casper leapfrogs him, so he goes back into 4th. Adam Morgan and Scott are still having that battle for 5th and 6th. Scott's got that line just about, but Adam Morgan gets it back. I think it's not on your life, sunshine. So Scott in 7th then, Adam Morgan 5th, Craig in 7th, Sampa 8th, Rasmus 9th, and Lee Fitzy in 10th at the moment. But still on lap 40 with around 10 laps to go. This could be very close between the pair of them. We'll see exactly what's going to happen, but who knows. So Gareth Morris then in the BMW, still pushing on towards the latter half of the lap, seems to be pushing. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen for the championship race. At the moment it seems Gareth Morris leading the way from Chris Wheatley. So we'll see exactly what it is. So we'll see how well Gareth Morris pushes that BMW along the way. Casper's still there in 3rd place, but it could be the race lead if them two pit. Nick up into 4th then, Adam Morgan still in 5th then, with Scott 6th at the moment, with Craig 7th, Sampa in 8th then, Rasmus 9th, Lee Fitzy 10th at the moment. But with 9 laps to go, this is where it's going to get very close to see exactly what's going to happen. But we do have some close proximity battles. 9 laps to go in this race. I think we're going to be very close to seeing exactly what's going to happen. But Chris Wheatley pushing on quite a bit for that Ford GT. Maybe he's going to think about, you know, an easy strategy. Casper still there in 3rd then, with the likes of Nick in 4th, Adam still 5th then, Scott 6th, Craig 7th, but the battle is going to be raging quite a bit between Adam and of course Scott at the moment. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So Gareth Morris goes into pit lane. We kind of knew that was going to happen because Chris Wheatley's probably going to stay up for another lap with 8 laps to go in this race. So Chris Wheatley gets another lap Thereabouts. Casper second, Nick in third then, but that could be very close to see exactly. Nick's fuel light just goes on with almost just when he crossed the start finish line, but Scott in fourth then, Adam Morgan fifth. Seems they're going to be pushing on quite a bit now for that time. We'll see exactly what's going to happen, but you can just see that 42 thereabouts. It's going to be very close to see what is going to happen for quite some time, and it seems to be that Adam's going to try and get past Scott before this race is up. Craig Thomas 6th then, Gareth Morris 7th, chasing after his best mate. Seems to be Samper thereabouts in 8th, Rasmus 9th, and Fitzy in 10th at the moment. But this is why the GT racing is very tense, because of the nature. It seems to be quite a bit, and they're going to be quite a bit pushing on for thereabouts. We'll see exactly what's going to happen in the latter half of this race. We see Casper now getting up to the back of that Ford GT40. We'll go on board with the BMW as we get in towards Panasonic. You can just see Casper is all over the back of Chris Wheatley. Is he going to get the overlap? He's got to be careful. He's got that toe though. He may do it, you know, he may do it. But we're going out of that 1,000 kilometres straight. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. Chris Wheatley tucks there, Casper tucks behind him, but Casper's going to try and get the move. Is he? We'll see exactly what's going to happen. We've got a couple of laps to go then. So round about maybe 6 laps to go now, maybe. So it's going to be very close. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. 6 or 7 laps to go in this race. It seems like it's going to be close proximity, but I'll tell you what is going to happen. Chris Wheatley has got to defend from the likes of Casper. Casper's all over the back of him now. You can just see that Ford GT40 trying to hold off that line, but this is where it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. Casper gets alongside the Ford. He's trying to get that Ford dispatched very quickly, but Chris Wheatley thinks, not in your life, sunshine. You can't take this victory away from me. But it's going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen between the pair of them. Chris Wheatley thereabouts, you know exactly how well things are going to happen, but Chris has got that line covered. We'll go on board with Casper yet again to go through towards Panasonic. Chris Wheatley puts the brakes on a bit too late. Casper gets alongside almost, but he's got the toe. And Chris Wheatley's Ford GT going down the straight, so it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. We are getting close to the race being ended, but we're on lap 44 then. Chris Wheatley alongside Casper. Casper's trying to get that BMW moved. He's gonna go and get the race lead, as he does. Yes, he does, because Chris Wheatley gets a bit crossed, but he's not gonna like that. Chris Wheatley will stay second in the Ford GT at the moment then. However, Adam Morgan in third then, with a couple of laps, around about 6 laps to go. Gareth Morris fourth, Craig fifth then, Samper in sixth, Nick seventh, Rasmus in eighth, with Scott chasing him in 9th place at the moment then, and Lee Fitzy in 10th place at the moment. But Scott's got that move. He's going to try and get the move on Rasmus, but Rasmus thinks about it. We'll see exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them. So Rasmus there in 8th then, with Nick still in 7th, trying to get close and personal. Samper still 6th then, Gareth's mate Craig in 5th then, and obviously Gareth in 4th. Adam Morgan still 3rd place at the moment. We'll see what's going to happen to the Aston Martin driver. Is he going to try and push on for another strategy, or is he going to try and think about changing his mind? But it's going to be very close between these guys. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. But at the moment then, Adam Morgan through Panasonic then, snakes it out of Panasonic. He pushes on, but he's going to be pushing on for another lap. So lap 45, then we go. And see exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to have to nip to the loo. I'll be back in a minute. So let's carry on and let's see what's going to happen, because Adam Morgan then still in third, holding on for dear life at the moment. Gareth Morris and Craig are thereabouts, so we're trying to see exactly what's going to happen. So we'll see exactly how well things are going to pan out between these guys. Casper still leading the way then from Adam Morgan. I think Adam Morgan's going to be pushing quite a bit thereabouts towards the end of the race now though. So Gareth Morris then fourth, Craig Thomas in fifth, Samper sixth, Nick still there in seventh, Scott trying to catch up in eighth place at the moment, but he's got Rasmus Omeren close behind. This is where it's going to get very close to see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. So we'll push on for quite some time. So Scott there still in eighth. So he's going to be pushing quite a bit. Casper still pushing away from Chris Wheatley, lap 46 then. Pushing quite a bit. It's going to be thereabouts. We can just see exactly what's going to happen. But Chris Wheatley still in second, Adam Morgan third. Pushing on for quite some time though. Oh, he's got a bit loose in that Aston Martin. Going out of turn number one it seems. But we're going to be very close. We're almost at the hour and 30 mark now. Got just a handful of minutes to go. Craig in fifth then with Samper sixth. Nick still in seventh. Rasmus chasing after Scott, however. Scott in eighth with Rasmus ninth. Lee Fixie in 10th then. But it seems to be quite a lot of personal battles galore at the moment. It's not really much going on now as we seem to wind down the last couple of minutes of the race then. However, Adam Morgan still in third then at the moment. He's trying to push on for quite some time. We'll see exactly what he's going to do. Is he going to try and push and emulate quite a lot of things? But it seems to me at the moment he's got that Aston Martin where he wants it. Gareth Morris though still in fourth, but I think there's another strategy on the cards, because I think Adam Morgan, however, wants to push on for third place, which he's going to be doing. But we're on lap 47, not long to go in this race now, as the time seems to tick, and it seems to be very close. Gareth Morris still in fourth, Craig in fifth, and Samper sixth, with Nick chasing down in seventh. Scott and Rasmus, however, pushing quite a bit for eighth and ninth, with Lee Fitzy in 10th at the moment. So Casper still leading the way then, lap 47. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between these guys, because Chris Wheatley's still in second, Adam Morgan third. However, Oh, he gets a bit crossed up. Is he suffering with grip now, or is it just the fact the fuel's just getting a bit more depleted? You can just see it there, a bounce. But who knows exactly what's going to happen between, obviously, the likes of Adam. But I think Adam actually is going to jump into pit lane. You've got Chris Wheatley still second, Gareth Morris fourth, Craig in fifth, and Samper sixth, with Nick still in seventh, Scott in eighth, and Rasmus ninth, Lee Fitzy in 10th. Then, however, I think, you know, Gareth Morris is going to be putting Adam Morgan under threat going through Panasonic. It's a bit of a touch between the pair of them, but I think Adam Morgan fights back and thinks, okay mate, you know, let's go. So Adam stays. Oh, he actually jumps into pit lane. So this is where it's going to get very close between these guys. So that's allowed Craig up into fourth then. I believe that is going to allow Samper fifth for the time being. I believe that for the time being that will allow Nick into sixth place, and Adam will be going into pit lane. So it looks like at the moment Scott's going to be pushing into seventh. This is exactly how I remember it from Scott's stream on Monday, because Adam comes out in eighth. Rasmus will settle for ninth place at the moment with Lee Fitzy in 10th then. So it looks like at the moment we've got 10 more minutes of running and it seems to be very close. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. Casper in first then, Lee Fitzy second, Gareth Morris in third, Craig Thomas in fourth, with Samper fifth, Nick sixth then, trying to push, Scott's trying to push all the way to try and catch up to Nick. But it's going to be very close because, you know, we're going to be around 9 minutes to run after this lap. So Scott there still in seventh, trying to catch up to Nick, but in the same time Adam Morgan timed his perfection. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them. It's going to be close as you like it, but we'll see exactly if we're going to be very close. But you've got Adam Morgan's trying to get away from Rasmus, but he's also in the process of catching up to Scott. We are on the probably what looks like the penultimate lap now, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. So it's going to be very close. So between Scott and Adam Morgan, it's getting very close as time is ticking. But this is where it's going to go between these guys. Between the pair of them, we'll see exactly what's going to happen between these guys as we head towards the latter half of the lap now. On to what probably will be the final lap for Casper, with Chris Wheatley also chasing him down. Gareth Morris will be third, with Craig Thomas and of course Samper fourth and fifth. Nick still in sixth, with Scott trying to push on and trying to get away from Adam Morgan. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen between these guys. It is looking likely though that you know, Adam's getting very close to Scott now, and Scott's going to have to concede a place. Rasmus still in ninth then, Lee Fitzy thereabouts in 10th place, but at the moment Casper is holding on for dear life. Craig Thomas actually goes into pit lane, so it's actually a splash and dash towards the end then. So that's allowed Nick up into 5th place then, with Scott and Adam hot on his heels now. This could be whereabouts it's going to go, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them going into the latter half. But it looks like then Adam's going to try and get that run and get the overlap, it seems. But we're around 7 minutes to go in this race. 7 minutes could be ideal. This is going to be close to see exactly what happens between these guys. It's going to be very close, but I think we may get another lap in because Casper is pushing. He's almost there to start probably what could be another very close victory for him. He's about to push on and see what happens. As he crosses the line, we have around 6 minutes to go. This is going to be very close. We'll see exactly what is going to happen between these guys. But, you know, it's been very close between everyone this evening. And I'll tell you what, it's a close proximity battle going into the next race as Casper comes through. The latter is drifting it. Chris Wheatley's still in second, Gareth Morris third, Samper fourth. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen with Samper in fourth and Nick fifth, Adam Morgan now sixth. It is going to be Scott in seventh, Craig alongside Rasmus for what looks like 8th place at the moment, and so we're on lap 51, but we've got around 5 minutes to go. This could be very close, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen for the time Rasmus gets near enough to Craig, but Craig's got very close and personal. But it looks like with this time running out at the moment, it seems that Casper will be pushing on for another lap at 52. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen with Casper thereabouts. So I push on with around 4 minutes left. So 4 minutes into this race, he could be pushing on. We'll see exactly what's going to happen for that time. It's going to be very close to see exactly how Chris Wheatley is going to try and catch up, but he can't because Casper is miles away. Chris is thereabouts. You've got Gareth Morris in third, then Samper fourth, Nick fifth, then Adam Morgan now being chased all the way by Scott Dalby with around a couple of minutes to go in this race. It is going to be very close between the pair of them. You know, Rasmus goes into pit lane, so that's allowed Craig a comfortable 8th place at the moment. Rasmus there, Lee Fitzy coming down the start finish line, probably thinking what have I got to do, and it'll be very close to see what is going to happen with the likes of Rasmus. Rasmus comes back out in 9th place then with 3 minutes to go in this race. Casper will be pushing on. He's going to be pushing. It is going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen because Casper is going to be thereabouts. He's got another couple of minutes to go, so he will be going on to what looks like the final lap. Chris Wheatley in second, and Gareth Morris third, Samper fourth. But this is going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen. But Samper is in fourth, then Nick fifth, Adam Morgan now sixth, and I think that is how it's going to finish because we're fast approaching quite a bit, near enough the hour and a half. We are around 2 minutes left in this race. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but I think Scott's going to try and pass Adam Morgan, but just as they do that, 28 minutes on the clock, an hour and 28 minutes is almost up. Well, the hour is nearly up for these guys. The hour and a half race, I should say, is nearly up for these guys. It is going to be very close as Casper comes through the latter half of the circuit. It is going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen. But is this how things are going to be with Casper leading the way, and he's probably leading the championship yet again? We'll see exactly what is going to happen as we are probably about to start the final lap now. It's going to be very close to see. We've got a minute to go because we are thereabouts now. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Casper comes around the first corner, almost there. Chris Wheatley almost out of fuel. Gareth Morris almost out of fuel. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Samper fourth, then Nick in fifth, Adam Morgan sixth, with Scott thereabouts seventh now. Craig Thomas going to be pushing on. We'll see exactly what happens, but some of these guys probably are going to be finishing very soon. But it looks like Lee Fitzy still there, so in 10th place. But Rasmus on to the last lap then, pushing towards Dunlop. He's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. He's going into the Dunlop chicane for the final time then. This is going to be very close. It's going to be a very close proximity race, but he is going to be taking another victory in the Eldar Sim Go Fudge Yourself GR3 Championship. We are just about to push into the final corner, and I think Lee Fitzy will be the first guy to finish. Rasmus is the first to finish, but he will come home in 9th. Lee Fitzy in 10th then, with the likes of Casper coming through. Panasonic then, he is going to take a well-deserved victory yet again in the Go Fudge Yourself GR3 Endurance Championship for Eldar Sim Racing. He is about to cross the line. He will be ecstatic with another victory this evening. Chris Wheatley then in second. It looks like the guys are closing up. Chris Wheatley second place then. It is going to be thereabouts. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. Chris Wheatley in second, with Gareth Morris in third. Samper fourth, currently under pressure from Nick. So Samper gets a decent result this evening for the Audi. So he's going to be pushing on quite a bit. Nick in fifth though. Nick's got fifth place in the bag from Samper. So Nick's going to be happy with that fifth place. Adam Morgan then with Scott Dalby. They were going to consistent. They were very consistent. So Adam 6th, Scott Dalby in 7th, and Craig Thomas in 8th place. And what a stellar race! I'll tell you what, guys. If it goes anything like for next week, when we are, I don't know where we are next week, but join me later for the final rounds of the Eldar Sim Shell Lawman British Touring Car Championship from Interlagos, Brazil. And we will be in for a treat. So I'll catch you guys later. Ta-ra.